Welcome, welcome, welcome to the pod you're listening to. What the Reality with me, Cache Roberts, and welcome to another Toxic Tuesday episode. I wish I could show you guys my top. I'll like bring it up for those on, but it says fashion made me this. And in fact, Cache made me this, me referring to myself because I did cut something about like cutting the, not the hem, but the collar and then giving it a V-neck. I don't know, something I just love doing that with certain like graphic tees. I don't know, like I just love doing that. Anyway, I did it to this top. How are you guys doing? Happy Tuesday. We have some things to talk about. We're going to talk about Traitors very briefly. We're going to talk about the sit down, Karen sit down. We're going to talk about the Karen sit down mostly. And we're going to talk about the Valley Persian Style. I've been enjoying that show so much. I've been telling everybody and their mama, you need to be watching it, including my mama. I'm like, why aren't you watching it? That is the best show right now. And there was like an article by Deadline or something saying it surpassed like 5 million views. Like on Peacock, people are watching it. They're just not tweeting about it, but it's okay. It's okay. I still think people are watching it, which is really good. And I wanted to talk about another show, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm going to talk about that because it is over. Thank the Lord. When I tell you I just watched the third part today on Monday and that came out on Thursday, I was not pressed to watch it. No Married to Medicine. It was okay. And yes, so this weekend, I'm in the Midwest. It has been very cold, snowing nonstop. So this weekend I was in again. I've actually been in all of January. Update, I did dry January. I just felt like, after the holidays, like I just was drinking too much. And it's so crazy because a new study came out that Gen Zs are drinking less and less and very much embracing, you know, less alcohol in their lives. I personally can't speak for that because like I do love me a good rosé at the end of the day. A good rosé, a good margarita is going to do it for me every time. But I did need a dry January because I felt so like sick of liquor by the holidays, because it's just like you have the holidays, you got Thanksgiving, you got like Christmas, and then you got New Year's, and it's just like drinking, drinking, drinking. And I felt like my kidneys really genuinely needed a drought. They needed to be detoxified. I was drinking like kidney tea to like literally detoxify. And I feel like my face is like honestly slimmed down. Obviously the contour helps. But then like I've also been like on I like to do what makes it fun. If you are a gym person, let me know. If you're a gym person, it makes it fun to have a different challenge every month. So whether it's like you're just embracing something differently every month and it's like a challenge of yours. So mine was like the captain's chair for like December. Like I wanted to end every workout at the gym doing like the captain's chair, which is like you use your legs, like your arms holstered up, and you use your legs like to swing. It's really focused on like lower abs. So that's what I was doing in December. January's goal of mine was my arms. Guys, I love the way my arms look right now. Like my arms look amazing, and I'm gonna keep doing this because my arms look amazing. It's the assisted pull-ups. So that was my January like goal. Mid-January, I was like, I have a walking pad. And I saw this TikTok. They're like, you cannot say you are an active person if you just work out and then you like clock in to your like, corporate job and you sit all day. And that's what I was doing. And maybe that's why I haven't been seeing results, at least with my legs. Like I just like always have hated my legs. Like, oh my gosh, guys. Why not tell you all my insecurities? But I was like, I have a walking pad. And so I didn't make it like, oh, I need to use my walking pad. I made it as if I need to start using the things I purchase my money on. That is my New Year's resolution, to start using the items I actually purchase. I purchased this back in November and I didn't use it nearly as much. So now I literally leave it out in my room. Sometimes I put it up, but my goal is to hit 4 miles every day. And I'm on my longest move streak on my Apple Watch. It has told me, like, I just hit 20 days the other day. So I'm trying to get my longest move streak. I might break it though this weekend because Saturday I'm getting my hair done, and that is an all day process. I don't think, because I'm getting some braids. I cannot wait, guys. I think I'm gonna break my move streak. I'm gonna be so upset. I'm trying to think of ways I can still hit it on Saturday. I'm gonna try, but my move streak is to literally close all my rings and hit 4 miles a day. I don't care if I've already closed my rings. I need to hit 4 miles a day. So that's what I've been doing. Now, obviously, January is over. Of course, I did have my first glass of alcohol already. That's why I can't speak for the Gen Zs. Because I could not wait. But February 1st, I actually went to like a wellness event yesterday, and they had like mimosas, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's February 1st, it's Black History Month. Of course, I'm gonna pour up, you know what I mean? So I had a mimosa, so I had champagne. We're easing into it. I still think I'm gonna be like just lighter on the hard liquor because I just don't like what it does to my body and how I feel. Like now I'll be like 26. My half birthday's literally when you're gonna be hearing this. Like I actually take half birthdays very serious because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've been my age for half a year now. I'm a little more seasoned, right? Guys, I get hangovers now. I've been getting hangovers since I turned like 25. So it's not fun. The hard liquor's not fun. You got to know when to put it down. And yeah, some people really don't like how they feel the next day. I don't like how I feel after a hangover. Like that stuff is annoying. Like I can't do nothing but lay down and eat like terrible food. Like that is my goal. I'm trying to be less hungover. It's not even like I drink a lot, but it's like sometimes it's the sugar. That's what makes you hungover. Let's be real. Like that's what makes you hungover and make you feel like terrible the next day is the sugar content. So it's like if you're gonna drink like a margarita, that's why Bethany Frankel invited a skinny girl margarita. So it's like you don't have those after effects and not all those calories because like margarita is one of the most like highest caloric intake drinks ever. You got martinis and stuff. That stuff is just like straight syrup and stuff. And I know because I was in my making my drinks era. So this year I'm really much embracing like actual lime juice, like cutting up a lime and making my lime juice that way for my like margaritas and like for my martinis, like actually using a lemon instead of lemon juice and stuff because that is what gets it sugary. I'm gonna lay off on like the syrups because I bought like so many syrups. I had like a lychee syrup, a blackberry one, a pineapple one. That is in like less syrup. Like I'll do a, pineapple marg every once in a while, but like less syrup and less juice. Like I want actual natural lemon and lime. But yes, dry January was good to me. It is now Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to everybody that celebrates. And I will be pouring up for our ancestors because it's only right. And yes, unfortunately, the groundhog did see its shadow. So I think we're about to get some more cold in the Midwest and in the East Side if you was in New York City. So it looks like we're about to get 6 more weeks of that. Spring is not coming anytime soon. I watched His and Hers on Netflix finally. I finished The Bear, so that was my update for Toxic Tuesday last week. And I'm trying to watch more drama series. I'm going to watch The Beauty, and I'm going to watch Tell Me Lies. I'm going to actually start Tell Me Lies, though, this week because everybody's talking about it. Bridgerton's out. I'm going to wait until the second part of Bridgerton is out for them to break it up. Netflix, you getting a little greedy. Like, you already got the podcast on there. Why are we still breaking up? Like, it's 8 episodes. What is there to break up? I watched His and Hers. Amazing. Spoiler alert, if you have not, fast forward at least like 3 minutes because I think 2 minutes. Like, fast forward just really quick. I knew it was the mom that was doing all them killings, you guys, because I think it was a moment when she was watching like her daughter's old tapes, Anna's old tapes. There was a moment when she was watching it, and then there was a moment it showed Lexi, the new news anchor, and the mom. There was a look. I don't know if it was like foreshadowing, but I was kind of like that. It was like in an earlier episode. I was like, do not tell me the mom is trying to avenge her daughter's career. Do not tell me that. And it was at that moment I'm like, and they kept focusing on her mom. I was like, I just feel like her mom has a bigger story to tell besides her mom just like aging, getting older, and being a demented woman. And lo and behold, it was really the story of a mother's love and the lengths a mother will go to protect their child. that was an amazing series. It was a limited series. I do love Netflix's limited series because I'm like, wrap that storyline up, especially if you're going to take several years to create the next season. That could have been a limited series. So I really did like that. It was a really good show. If you guys haven't watched it, make sure you watch it. Even though I just spoiled it for you, but I didn't spoil everything, but it was a really good series. Yes, I'm excited to watch Tell Me Lies, and I am excited to watch The Beauty. Hulu's been dropping some stuff. There's another show I wanted to watch on Netflix. I think it's like Meet the Birds or something. Like it's supposed to be like an office type, so that looked kind of funny. I think it's like a limited series as well. Two Broke Girls is on Netflix, and I used to watch that every once in a while when it used to be on cable, and when I would get home from like college during COVID and it would be on in the morning, I would watch that. So I think I want to watch that thoroughly through. I love when Netflix gets these sitcoms because I was obsessed with watching Younger. Like Younger was so good. If you guys have not watched Younger with Hilary Duff and Sutton Foster, make sure you watch it. That is a really good show. And then also, yes, I'm super excited to watch Two Broke Girls because like I said, that's something that's always came on either before or after George Lopez on some channel. It's just really nostalgic for me. Like 21, 22 maybe. So I'm excited to watch that from the beginning to end because there's nothing I love more than watching a sitcom from beginning to end. I need to watch Modern Family. Like shockingly, I've never watched Modern Family. I haven't watched Abbott Elementary, and I know Abbott Elementary is like right up my alley. But my thing is with Abbott Elementary, it's like it's still currently airing. I don't like to watch sitcoms until they're fully done airing. So like I didn't get hooked onto The Office until well past its time. Parks and Rec well past Superstore. And now I feel like it's time for me to watch Modern Family because it's been a couple years since it's been off air and it's like fully out. But I might start Abbott Elementary because I just feel like everybody and their mama cannot stop talking about it. And they win like all of the awards. But I typically like to wait until a sitcom is fully done airing so I can just fully binge it. No problems. How was you guys the weekend? We have a lot of things to talk about. First off, perhaps the biggest news that came from the weekend is that Don Lemon was arrested. He has now been released, and he is looking forward to his day in court. He was, I'm going to say, falsely arrested because they argued, or the indictment argues, the trial, whoever, what is it? They took him into custody because they said that he basically, well, I guess let me just read the indictment so I don't sound dumb. I just wanted to sum it up, but basically a grand jury in Minnesota had basically indicted Lemon and others, including Georgia Fort, who was also a Black journalist, and I think there was like two other people's, on charges of conspiracy and interfering with the First Amendment rights of worshipers during the January 18th protests at the city's church in St. Paul, where U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement official is a pastor, which we did not know. So, everything that's been going on with the Minnesota, riots, there have been multiple unjustly deaths of innocent people because of all the ICE stuff. The ICE people are just insane. They are just unfortunately shooting people left and right for no reason. Unarmed people, armed people, people that are not bearing arms, people that are no threat, essentially. People that are, protesting. They don't like what's going on. People are being ripped from schools, to be deported. ICE is just getting out of control, and they are in the battlegrounds of Minnesota. It's very hot over there, and there's been a bunch of protests. There was a church protest January 18th, like I just read, that Don Lemon and a couple other journalists went to. Don Lemon is now an independent journalist. He used to work with CNN, and he went there, and he has said multiple times on camera, on air, as he is, investigating the scene. He said, I am just here reporting on the scene, and it was clearly a demonstration of everything that was going on with the protests of ICE. Somehow they got a list together, or Trump and the thing is with this is that it surpassed the court's grant. Like the court did not grant Don Lemon to be arrested because this is now you're arresting journalists for reporting on the truth. Like, we are in danger, but we've been in danger, right? I'm not going down that hole. So apparently this has like seceded the federal courts. They were like, you know what? There's no grounds to arrest him and these three other people that had also been black, but Georgia Ford is another independent journalist. So essentially they're saying like Trump basically got his people to arrest him. He was arrested in the middle of the night. This was Friday overnight, and we woke up with this news on Saturday. He wasn't released until Sunday. So he was in jail for at least a full 24 hours. He has now been out. He is saying he's looking forward to his day in court. I'm looking forward to his day in court because he didn't do anything. He was there to just literally report on the scene. And yeah, it's just honestly crazy. The full indictment is out. I think PBS News has that. He looks like he is now going to literally put the pedal to the metal even more so. And if anything, when I tell you the social media response to him being arrested was grand, it was almost as loud as Jimmy Kimmel. If there was a way to unsubscribe to the government, that would have been the day we mostly unsubscribe from it, because the backlash that the government got for this arrest was insane. It was everywhere. People think we are literally in an authoritarian dictatorship. That's what we are in. But I cannot say the word. And I know the word. The one I'm trying to say, it's a authoritarian, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm sound so dumb trying to say it. And the thing is, if I were to just Google it, I'm sure I could pronounce it. But the difference between that and a dictatorship is like dictatorship is clearly by one, the authoritarian or whatever is by the rich. So that's why they're saying we are under the A, but I think we're under the D. Just to put things lightly. But like I said, the social media response to that was insane. People are upset, and it really reflected at the Grammys. Let's talk about the Grammys really quick while we're at it. Don Lemon was at the Grammys. A lot of people were making political statements at the Grammys. They've been making political statements at these award shows because this is where you're getting so many eyes on people. So the Grammys was very political. A lot of people had ice out on the nails, the jury, the hills. The people are speaking out. The celebrities are that they do not stand with what is going on. And it's almost as if you don't make a comment at this point as a celebrity, we're kind of side-eyeing you. And it's so funny to me because Kim Kardashian has said that she does not stand what is going on with Minnesota, but it is so crazy because the person she aligned herself with is the one that's responsible for all of this, like all the Kardashians. And now it's like, when I see those celebrities be the same ones to make these posts about we don't stand with what's going on, but it's like, what were you expecting when you are the one that was standing behind this man and nominated him? So I don't know. I just feel like this is not politics. This is reality. But it's really scary, but I'm just glad so many people are speaking up. I think we'd be more in danger if people weren't speaking up. So the fact that people are speaking up means that people genuinely do want something to change. Like I said, I hope the man gets impeached. Like, honestly, I don't know what's taking so long, especially now that the Epstein files are out and his name is all throughout that he did sexually assault lot younger preteens, that is all out. It's kind of like we talk about it for a day and then we don't talk about it. That alone is insane to me, especially when we know Kennedy was impeached for a blowjob. And now we have a full list, in the words of Luann, making it less, checking it twice, a full list of things that Trump is very much like responsible for. A very thorough full list. Like, you can't deny it and nothing's happening. So that's where we are as a nation. Obviously, the Grammys was amazing to see a lot of Black and brown people win. I like Billie Eilish. I don't understand how she won with that record that is owed from 2024. We're going to look at the full list, but as we know, Bad Bunny did win Album of the Year, which is just perfectly timing because, you know, the Super Bowl is this weekend, Sunday, and he will be performing, and he won Album of the Year, and his full album is obviously, you know, fully in Spanish. Like, it's in full Spanish. So for him to win the Grammys, you know what I mean, which is historically, you know, white people have won it. Only, like, you know what I mean, white people have historically won Album of the Year. We finally had Beyonce win last year, which was amazing for Cowboy Carter. But before that, she had, you know, submitted Renaissance, Lemonade, all that other stuff. She had won a lot of Album of the Years to white artists. And it's amazing to see, like, after Beyonce wins, Bad Bunny wins, another, you know, of color artist. And like I said, we have the Super Bowl coming up. We know people are going to be upset because I'm pretty sure the Super Bowl is going to be in Spanish. I think Cardi B may come out and perform Bodega Baddie or something with him because Stefan is definitely heading towards the Super Bowl. The fact that I know about this is like insane because, like, honestly, I normally don't know anything about sports, you guys, but we know that Stefan Diggs is in the Super Bowl, so I could definitely see her coming out for a surprise performance. I don't know. I'm trying to think who performed last year. I can't remember who performed last year because I cannot remember who performed last year. I'm trying to think, was there anyone good? Anyway, let's go over the winners. But like I said, a lot of the winners for the Grammys this year was very black and brown. And especially as we're on the war for immigrants right now, it is amazing to see the award shows kind of reflect what people are listening to and what people want to see on period. So obviously, let's go over the winners and then we're going to get into some other reality topics. And yeah, so Luther, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA, of course, they won Record of the Year, which I don't think was shocking at all. They were up against Anxiety by Doechii, APT, Rose, and Bruno Mars, who is going on tour soon. The Subway by Chappell Roan, Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, Wildflower by Billie Eilish, Manchild, Sabrina Carpenter. When I looked at that list, and then DTMF by Bad Bunny, when I looked at the list, I knew Luther was going to win because I felt like it was a remake of Luther Vandross as well. I don't know. I just felt like they did that song justice. And fun fact, Kendrick Lamar said that for him to get cleared on a sample, he could not cuss at all. So they did not cuss at all to get cleared on that Luther Vandross sample, which I thought was very interesting. So Album of the Year obviously was Debe Terrar Mas Fotos, which is Bad Bunny. He was up against Mutt, which is Leon Thomas. I think Mutt was such a good album. Obviously, I didn't listen to Bad Bunny, but like period. If out of the whole list, I would have thought, so Swag for Justin Bieber, Man's Best Friend by Sabrina, Let God Sort 'Em Out by Eclipse, Pusha T, and Malice, Mayhem by Lady Gaga, GNX by Kendrick Lamar, Mutt, Leon Thomas, and then Chromapia by Tyler, the Creator, which I did listen to a little bit out of that. My winner probably would have been Mutt by Leon Thomas because that album was just so amazing. Song of the Year was Wildflower, and that's why I said that made no sense because this is from 2024. And when you look at the nominees for this, I'm shocked it didn't go to Luther, you know, Kendrick Lamar, and them, Manchild, Sabrina Carpenter, Golden. This is by K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't even know who that is. Like, is this AI? I don't know. DTMF by Bad Bunny, APT by Sabrina, Anxiety. I thought Anxiety definitely could have won. And then Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. Best New Artist is Olivia Dean, which isn't shocking. I feel like a lot of people like her. Addison Rae was in there again. Cat's Eye was in there. Thank the Lord they weren't in there. If you guys look up their gnarly performance, that stuff was I can't believe I almost said amazing. That stuff was atrocious. They cannot sing. They just dance. I can't believe that's a song. The memes are insane. The Marias was in it. I thought Leon Thomas, honestly, would have won. But the thing is, Leon Thomas, he's not a new artist. He's just, it's crazy. It's like when you just really stay on your path, it comes eventually. Patience is a virtue. Patience is key. Leon Thomas been writing for Beyonce, been writing for a bunch of celebrities for a while, a bunch of musicians, but he's finally taking off as an artist himself. So I'm really glad to see Leon Thomas take off. His performance had the whole Grammys moving, like everybody was out of their seat. The people were here for his performance. So I'm really happy for him. That's who I could see winning, but I don't even listen to Olivia Dean, and I know the people love her. Like, honestly, I just got my longest streak, you guys. I'm on 22 days, so when I'm done with here, I have to keep that up because I need to make sure I hit 23 days because I'm like literally 3,000 steps away from my 10K goal. Okay, so producer of the year, Circuit. I don't know why Kaytranada's never in this. I don't really know those other people. So songwriter of the year, non-classical, Amy Allen. She wrote a lot of stuff. She wrote APT by Rose and Bruno Mars. Bad as the Rest, Hail Mary, Shabuzi, Dua Lipa. She got a lot of stuff in her caliber, so period. Best pop solo performance was Messy by Lola Young. That was kind of popping last year though, I felt like. On TikTok. I don't know if it, well, I guess last year was 2025. When I look at the nominees, it's Daisies by Justin Bieber, which I'm shocked didn't win, Man Child by Sabrina Carpenter, Disease by Lady Gaga, and The Subway by Chappell Roan. Chapel Roan. I keep saying her name wrong. Best pop duo group performance, Defying Gravity. They just gave that to them because they didn't get no Oscar. Because that made no sense to me. By Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Best pop vocal album, Mayhem by Lady Gaga. Her speech was really good. She was talking about women empowerment. She was up against Swag, Justin Bieber, which I felt like that album came out of nowhere. I feel like people talked about it for a little bit and then it kind of disappeared in the background. Man's Best Friend, Sabrina Carpenter. Something Beautiful, Miley Cyrus. I've Tried Everything But Therapy, Part 2, Teddy Swims. I don't know who that is. Best Dance Electronic Recording, End of the Summer. Dang. So this Kaytranada was in this one. I wanted him to win this one. But his other one, if I'm being honest, Space Invader, his recent album, like, wasn't my favorite. I prefer Timeless. But period. It was in there. It was a nominee. Best Dance Pop Recording, Abracadabra, Lady Gaga. Okay. FKA Twigs had the Best Dance Electronic Album with Usika. Guys, I do not know how to pronounce that. Best Mixed Recording, Abracadabra. Best Rock, Changes. Who won? Okay, we're in rock. I think I'm about to get into. I wanted to see R&B. Best R&B performance, Kalani Folded. That the way they overplayed that song, I can't even listen to it, but I'm super excited for Kalani. But she had the best R&B performance. I'm shocked Mutt did not win from the Tiny Desk. Or to be honest, everyone was blasting that Justin Bieber Yukon. I am shocked that didn't win, but I know Kalani was going to win whenever she was in a category because Folded has been huge for her. And this is her first time winning Grammy, and she's been in the game for like 13 years, you guys. Like, she's been in the game since I was a freshman in high school, at least. I think even 7th, 8th grade. Best Traditional R&B Performance, Leon Thomas won for Vibes Don't Lie. That song is my song. And then Kalani also won Best R&B Song. Best Progressive R&B Album. I'm super glad about Duran Bernard winning Bloom. If I'm not mistaken, he is from Ohio, which is like obviously where I'm from. I'm trying to see Where is he from? I'm either getting him or somebody else mixed. He is from Cleveland, Ohio. Yep, like me. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure he's from Cleveland, Ohio. It was amazing. He actually has a meme going around right now as well of him like running across the stage, which was super hilarious. He was up against Access All Areas Flow, which I think is a really good album. Love on Digital, Destined Comrade, which is another good album. Come As You Are, I don't know that one. And then Adjust Brightness, I don't know that one. Best R&B album, Mutt did win. I was super excited. Leon Thomas did win that. He was up against Escape Room, Tiana Taylor. Not her best. Why Not More? Coco Jones. Hers was really good, actually. Beloved. I did not really care for Giving Ons or The Crown Legacy. I didn't agree with that. So we have some best rap performance clips. Pusha T. Melodic rap performance. Luther. Kendrick Lamar, SZA. Best rap song, TV Off, of course. He deserved that. And best rap album went to Kendrick Lamar, GNX. And that's everything. I can't really speak on jazz and the rocks and the stuff because, like I said, I don't know. But yes, the Grammys, like I said, was really huge for Kendrick Lamar, Leon Thomas, Kalani. It was amazing to see them win. It was nice to see Durand Bernard when he has one of my favorite songs on A Kaytranada album. You guys should definitely listen to him. He has some really good music. Let's move on to some other reality topics. Ray J apparently only has a year left to live. That is what the doctors have told him. That is very shocking to me. Last time we talked about Ray J on the pod, it was an altercation with Princess, his estranged wife. I don't know if they're divorced yet or they're separated for sure, but I don't think they're fully divorced. So the last time we talked about him on the pod, there was some sort of altercation. This was New Year's Eve or it was Christmas. I think it was New Year's Eve. The kids were supposed to be with him, but Princess came and got them because it was a hostile situation. I don't know. It was just a lot going on. And then apparently like she's trying to get the daughter. He pulls a gun out on her and she eventually filed a protective order against him. Now, all of a sudden he is saying he has a year left to live. And I don't say that as like, oh my gosh, like, is he lying? I don't think he's lying. I would hope he's not lying. But she has now lifted her protective order against him because he only has months to live. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So his latest health update, let's see what he says. He says that my health is not okay. I don't know what's going on. He said in an early video, Ray J said that his doctors told him he likely won't live to 2027, which is honestly crazy. He was recently hospitalized after contracting pneumonia and experiencing heart pain earlier this month. He thanked his fans. He said, I'm trying to see. He said, I want to thank everybody for praying for me. I was in a hospital. My heart's only beating like 25%, but as long as I stay focused and stay on the right path, everything will be all right. My health is not okay, so I thank everyone for praying for me. And then he said on Twitter, 2027 is definitely a wrap for me. Adding that doctors told him he will not live long. He said his heart had turned black due to abusing alcohol and drugs, admitting he to feeling invincible. So, yeah, his heart apparently is only beating 25%. And yeah, it just turns out the liquor and the alcohol finally did it. If you guys remember Princess, when the whole confrontation did happen, I played that video on the pod. So go back to listen to that one because I think it's like labeled as one of mine. But she said, like, I think she alluded like all he do is be on that alcohol and stuff. So it's pretty clear he does have a substance problem, or he has had a substance problem. And unfortunately, it looks like it did catch up with him. Prayers to Ray J, because we know Ray J is like just like this like lighthearted. Like, he just always making a mess, but he's pretty lighthearted for the most part. He doesn't try to cause harm, besides the video we clearly saw of him actually trying to cause harm, which was a lot. But it's very unfortunate that if he does only have until 2027, hopefully he can find something, maybe something to help his heart. Hopefully that's not it. And like, what's worse, like, I always say this is super morbid, you guys. Would you rather know, or would you rather not know when you're supposed to be out of here? Like, that's just something I think about. Like, I don't know if I'd want to know, but some people may want to know if they've experienced not knowing of a loved one. So I don't know. That is a very interesting thing to think about. We have some other reality topics. Let's talk about what is going on with Married to Medicine really quickly. So it looks like Quad and King have broken up. To my suspicions, it was brought to me on TikTok in the comment section. They were like saying they don't even think they're together, and I was like, I was hoping not, because like I understand the edit that they're getting this season, but I was just hoping it was that an edit, like he was just frustrated with the baby process. But it's giving the people who were right in my comment section. I'm trying to find the evidence, because if I'm being honest, he has not been super nice in the comment section. And okay, I got a screenshot. So there was a post, and this is why I say the Toya is a messy bee, because Toya not so long ago bought a car for Aiden, and she shouted out King, and it was at that point I had suspected that King and Quad were not together. And I was like, why is she shouting out King? And I just know they're going to use this as a storyline next season to get under Quad. And I know Quad's going to bring it up, and I hope she don't let it affect her. But the fact that Toya's getting a car from King for her son, knowing they broke up, I just know that is going to be the storyline. It's kind of predictable at this point. But so basically, someone's in the comment section of King's stuff, and they said, I don't think they're together anymore. It was a sad face. And then someone was like, that's sad. And then King responded, he said, I can confirm that I left that situation. Ooh. He said, I can confirm I left that situation. He said, we is no longer together. And I had seen that before. I didn't think anything of it. But yeah, guys, Summer House premieres when you're hearing this, Toxic Tuesday. So tap into that. I'm going to start recapping that, especially as Potomac's ending, Salt Lake is over. I'll start recapping that. I've been getting a little more listeners, you guys. I'm so grateful of you guys for listening. The only issue is that I don't get a chance to recap all of my episodes. So I'm working on something. You know, if I get more listeners, we're going to keep running that up. But I might be doing something very soon where I'm going to be recapping my favorite shows, because I'm not even recapping Traitors, really. Like, I really only dedicate like Toxic Tuesdays like to stuff I vividly like enjoy. And I don't want to begin to start like hate recapping things. I want to genuinely enjoy to recap certain stuff. But yeah, so Summer House, I was just scrolling in this text thread and I just realized Summer House is premiering. And the sneak peek we got is of Amanda talking about her relationship with Kyle. And we're going to see what finally led her to breaking up with the man. In other reality news, we have the cancellation finally of Basketball Wives. It was a matter of time, given especially I was one of those people that was definitely talking about Basketball Wives when it was on last season, because I thought it was a good season, but it was like frustrating. It's always frustrating to watch Basketball Wives, in my opinion, but especially with the whole Jackie Christie and Chantel, I could believe that Jackie probably didn't want to come back. If you don't have Jackie, you don't have a show. But also, like, just Basketball Wives got so old to a point, and I always argued that once they merged the cities and made it just one, that's when it started going downhill. Like, yeah, it was good, but it's like, I just think they should have kept the franchises separate. But yeah, Shawnee. Oh, it's so funny. It says, it doesn't even say in any acknowledgement. Oh no, they say Shawnee Henderson. Well, like, obviously that's her name, but I'm just saying, we know her, Shawnee O'Neill. So yeah, she, after 12 seasons, Basketball Wives is ending, and it had been on a weird little thing for a minute. Like, we would get reunions sometimes we wouldn't. Um it was just always a different person on. Like, we were always trading out different people. But yes, so she did post a Instagram video. I'm just gonna recap a little bit of what she said. She said, I wanted to jump on here real quick before the news goes out and people try to be messy and make something that it's not. Girl, just get to the announcement. This is just called Growth and Moving Forward. I'm announcing today that Basketball Hives will not be returning. Since its launch in 2010, the franchise has been the defining part of my professional journey. What began as a vision to tell my story, and stories of women like me grew into a cultural movement that created opportunity, sparked conversation and honesty, amplified voices that deserve to be heard. Um, She said, most importantly, I'm thankful to the women who trusted me with their stories and the creatives in front of and behind the camera who helped bring this vision to life. Season after season, growth requires evolution and knowing when to honor a chapter while preparing for what's next. While the journey is concluding, I'm actively developing new projects that align with my personal and professional purpose, continuing to create meaningful opportunities for women across the media and the business. I think, obviously, because she's now in that preacher's world, she's probably working on something with like the preacher's wives, the dramas there. She's no longer a part of the basketball wives community. She's a pastor's wife now, or a preacher's wife. I don't know which one she is, but she is the wife of someone in a church. So I'm assuming she's moving towards that. I would be very shocked to see which women sign up to do that, because churching, I said churching as like an adjective. Churching in reality TV can get sticky. That's why they make a lot of drama series that are honestly very closely based on what happens in the church. It's just hard to have a reality show based in the church. It really is. But hey, Shawnee O'Neal, I don't know. I was never really a big fan of her. I think she held Evelyn to a different standard, and I think she was honestly at times very much unfair to certain groups of women. And that's how I feel about it. I'm trying to think what else is on my list before we get into some recaps. OG, RHONY. Apparently, there's a new show going on E. E is no longer part of NBC Universal, so this actually is a crazy loss for Bravo and ABC Universal. OG RHONY, they got Ramona Singer. They got Sonia Morgan, Luann. I was shocked about Luann because she's been very prominent on, Bravo. So now she's going to be on their rival network, because this is a rival network now. Who else? Kelly Benham Simone. I'm just like, whatever. Jill Zarin, obviously. Bethany Frankel reacted already. She said this is such a smart decision. Like, of course, like, this is what's happening. I'm trying to find the video. And yeah, there's going to be an announcement. I actually have Ramona's announcement right here that I'm going to pull up, but I'm trying to pull up Bethany's reaction, because Bethany actually said it was really smart. And this is going to be based in Florida, because this is where all of the ladies honestly live. Let me see. I cannot believe they approved this. Like, if I'm being completely honest, I can't believe they approved this. Okay, let me play. So Dorinda's not on here, which I'm shocked if Luann is. Let's play Ramona's video.
We're going to be filming All the Best You Know and Always. And I know you guys love watching me on Instagram, but guess what? It's going to be announced tomorrow. We're going to be filming for ETV 6 of the original Housewives, so get ready for that.
I'm really excited to watch. Okay, I found Bethany's. Let me play her reaction.
OG Style. What do I think about the Housewives going to E in a new reboot, OG Style? I'm glad you asked. I think it's fan-fucking-tastic. E came in savage, Barracuda style, and said, these bitches aren't expired, so you know what? Let's put them back up on the fucking shelf. And Ramona is going to come out of hibernation like a bear, ready to eat something. Jill, the machinations, she's been turning the wheels, making this happen. Jill had something to do with this ending up in the end zone, and I am happy for all of them. Go. And you know what? With all due respect to that reboot, when that was announced, I said, boring. And it was, respectfully to those beautiful women. But you know what? He came in and said, watch what motherfucking happens. You're welcome.
So Bethany's also in Florida. She's not going to be on the reboot, but I bet you it depends how well the OG RHONY reboot does. If it does well, I'm sure Bethany's going to want a slice of that cake because, like I said, E is not a part of Bravo. I cannot pretend like, oh, they said the 6th OG being announced tomorrow for RHONY on E Entertainment. Is it going to be Bethany? Who's going to be they're saying there is going to be a 6th housewife. Or is it going to be Dorinda? This is very interesting. I'm really excited. So that makes sense why we couldn't watch Kimora anymore on Peacock, because they kind of are not in bed together. E isn't with NBC Universal, so I wonder where we can watch the OG RHONY. Thankfully, my parents still have cable. I don't think they ever will stop having cable, but I wonder what streaming we can watch it on. Like, I'm not getting Paramount again. I hate having Paramount Plus, you guys. I hate it. We're about to get into some recaps. I just wanted to put this out here that Lewis Hamilton and Kim Kardashian are allegedly dating. Didn't see that coming. Period. Traitors. Lisa Rinna has been banished. Her time was coming. I said that honestly, Lisa Rinna, if you know Lisa Rinna, like, and I guess to be fair, you can't base it on just the Lisa Rinna as a housewife, but normally Lisa Rinna is a lot more talkative, and I felt like she has been super quiet, but even Dorinda saying, like, as a friend, like, she was a little quiet, and I just feel like if I was in that castle, I think one of my first instincts would have been Lisa Rinna, but I was shocked when Alan picked Lisa Rinna because I just felt like she would have been too obvious, in my opinion, if I was there. But she's been banished. She went out with a bang. And this is why I will say Traitors is the place housewives go to have an image rebrand. The last time we saw Lisa Rinna, we all couldn't stand her. Now we're like, oh my gosh, like, we kind of want more of her. I kind of want more of her, especially since I have not watched Beverly Hills, and that is a show you cannot pay me right now in any climate to watch. I'm just disinterested in Beverly Hills. Like, I'm not watching Vanderpump Rules. I'm not watching stuff just for the sake to recap it anymore. If I'm disinterested, I'm disinterested. I'm not watching it just to have something to watch. I'm not interested in watching Beverly Hills, and I'm not interested in watching the Vanderpump Rules reboot. I gave both of them a try with the first episode, and I didn't like it. And I haven't seen much chatter on social media that has made me want to watch it, when I tell you no one is talking about either one of them. So, yeah. Lisa Rinna, if LVP is never going to go back to Beverly Hills as long as Kyle is on there. So maybe we can get Lisa Rinna. It was kind of like, okay, Lisa, I would like to see you again, because last time I saw you, you were just a foul girl. You was a very bitter woman, and you needed a break. She needed a pause for sure the last time we saw her on our screens. But on the flip side of that, we have Candace going so hard for Lisa Rinna, which I'm afraid is going to throw her game off, because now I feel like people are starting to look at her so much that she's over Rob. The Traitors have turned on each other. A lot of people say, like, this is the best part. I actually hate when the Traitors turn on themselves on each other, because I like the Traitors to make it. But at the end of the day, it's a game. When the Traitors start turning on each other, it is crazy. I wonder if they're going to get a chance to recruit. Candace is upset. She's upset that her housewife left, and she's upset that Rob really stabbed her in the back. She does not trust Rob, and now she is planning his funeral along with possibly hers. People are saying that Candace is overreacting. The housewife fan base is overreacting. I can say they are. Is Candace overreacting? No, but it does seem like in real time she is. Like, in the game, I don't think she was, but it seems like her and Rob have this back and forth and this vendetta against each other. And it's so funny because she posted some clip art of him and her and it looked like she dogging him or whatever. And Rob responded, Candace, it's literally just a game. And then someone's like, Rob, Love Island was literally just a game. Because we're all like thinking about his breakdown. Like, this is a lot of time people's first time seeing Rob. Like, it's crazy to me that so many people have not seen season 6 of Love Island. But Traitors is tapping into a whole other group of people that have not seen it. So now Peacock has curated a selection of Rob's greatest Love Island episodes. And Rob actually turned down Beyond the Villa because he had to get ready to film for the Traitors. So that's why he turned it down, apparently. Which, because I'm like, I didn't think they overlapped, because I thought Scotland was during the winter time, like, honestly. But when I think about it, I don't know, is it always cold in Scotland? I don't know. All I know is there's some people that are like totally obsessed with Rob right now, which is so funny to me because I know him from Love Island and I think he's an attractive male, but he's just never been my type. But yeah, Candace is. It seems like she's overreacting in real time right now because they are going back and forth. I'm like, y'all, it's a show. That's what gets me with the Traitors. I'm like, and y'all are celebrities at that. None of y'all really need this money. I do think the person that really needed the money was Tiffany because she was really crying about like her son and like, you know, being a single parent. I do think she really genuinely wanted the money, but it's always so interesting to me when they get these super like, there's like in between reality stars, like people that clearly need the money, and then people that like, you know, falling off reality TV stars like, oh my gosh, the money would be great, like, you know what I mean? And then people are just like, the money be cool, but so you know what I mean? It's like you gotta even the playing field. I don't know. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Traitors. Like, yeah, I was like, dang, they had to get a traitor out. I think, if I'm being completely honest, though, I think Rob is playing a solid game as a traitor, and he could possibly go all the way because he is playing a very good game as a traitor. Okay, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The ladies, they don't do reunions well. It's like that last moment to really get everything out, air everything out, prove everyone's point. You know, you did this, you owe me this, you said this off camera. We didn't get any airplane footage. What a waste of so many episodes during the season. I genuinely think the Salt Lake ladies need to take a beating because they pick up filming so fast. Look, Lisa Barlow just filmed Ultimate Girls Trip. I think it would only be fair if she even got a break from filming. She went from Reunion, filming Ultimate Girls Trip, to now, you know, they be picking up cameras fast. They pick up cameras fast. Like, I would think they pick up cameras very fast. I was trying to say, aren't they filming now? No. I think they would have been filming now if it wasn't for Ultimate Girls Trip. Maybe. Because don't they film like in the winter? I don't know. But I do think they should switch up their schedule. Maybe film like at the end of the summer for like that until the holiday season time. I don't know when they normally film, but whatever. It was okay. I would say I'm never impressed with the reunions for Salt Lake City. It always just seems like too much. I will say Lisa was proactively trying to listen. She was very quiet. I think she was really trying to listen, but I don't know. Meredith, who is going, you guys? Someone gotta go. Meredith is just a lot to me. I like Meredith, but I think she focuses so much on the words in the minutia in the trivial things. She really tries to get people caught up, and I think it's so unfair to call Brittany, like her, hate her, because I don't even like her, anti-Semitic. I think it's so crazy to call her that. I just don't think that's fair because of the whole nail thing. And it's like, Meredith, you was using the same nail person and you stopped using him when you found out yourself. So I'm just like, why are you that upset with her? And then to associate that with possibly, oh, she doesn't like you because of XYZ, I feel like that's a reach. I feel like it's a reach. I feel like Meredith will not take accountability. I think something happened on the airplane, but I think for me, the whole airplane incident is so insane because I don't see how a grown woman is letting another grown woman pull her hair on an airplane. And like Angie said, if you did that to me, Meredith, the air marshals would have definitely been waiting to take your butt. And that's why I'm like, I don't understand why the air marshals were not there. If they are claiming it was this huge scene, we saw even what happened after BravoCon with the whole Porsche of it all. We saw some of the Miami girls getting into it. We've seen air marshals waiting to escort people off. Where was the escort? Where was the escort? Because I just don't believe it happened now. I'm like, everyone's saying this stuff happened, but did it happen? And it's like, where was the air marshal? Where was the law enforcement? Where are Delta, whoever they was flying on? You know what I mean? It's hard to believe. It's kind of like us trying to believe that production had the footage of Heather Gay or like Heather Gay lying on Jen Shah for the longest and saying like, oh, it wasn't Jen Shah or whatever. Like, it's just kind of hard to believe that this has happened now. It's like, I kind of believe it happened, but where's the footage? Like, you know what I mean? I think Heather is really letting the show get to her and her chin. I think she looks a mess. I think Angie looked the best. Honestly, when I say I don't want to recap things that I have no interest in, I mean that about Salt Lake City. Perhaps the biggest revelation in that is that Bronwyn and Todd are divorcing, and then it's like crazy to me because like Whitney tried to make it about herself in that moment, and Justin comforted her. He's like, "We're fine." So I'm just like, "What are you talking about, Whitney? Who is going to get a pink slip, you guys? Will it be a pink slip? Will it be a purple slip? A purple slip or a blue slip? You might just be demoted." I think we can do without Whitney and Meredith, but they're never gonna let go of Meredith, especially with the Lisa stuff. But if I was production, I'd be sick of Meredith like trying to twist stuff, and she do blame production a lot. I was actually on the girl's side, but then my thing is with that is like none of them sound genuine ever to me. Like Whitney always sounds like she's just trying to get in favor with production. Like it's just seemed like the production thing is a lie. Like Meredith do be trying to blame it on production. She is a victim. They're all victims. Um, I don't know what's going on with Lisa and her man, but Bronwyn said that Todd didn't Googled himself. He Googled the Reddit. He went on Reddit and typed in his name, and they are no longer together. Not shocking. Not shocking. I think Bronwyn should be back. She has to afford her lifestyle. I don't see how she can't. But she is the one that broke off the relationship and request separation. We do know that her father unfortunately did pass. Um, Mary is just so wish-washy. Like one moment she's like a bee. Like they sting you, but then like they love, like what is it? It's like they're pretty. I mean, some people say a bumblebee's pretty, or like they produce honey or whatever. Like so, it's like you get something good, but it's like you go too close, they sting you. They'll, I feel like that's how Mary Cosby is. I just feel like she can't be trusted. Is she a good reality TV star? Yeah, but in terms of person, I don't know. I can't have a friend around me that is always trying to make an example out of me or curse me out in front of people. I feel like one moment she's cool with Meredith, the next moment she isn't cool with Meredith. And I just feel like that's unfair. It's like one moment you're trying to scold me for my behavior, and then the next it's like, you can never get a good read on Mary. And I think that's my problem with her. So that's why I personally don't care for her. But, and also the documentary did not help her case for me. But I want to talk about the Valley Persian Style, because if you are not watching the Valley Persian Style, you should be watching it. Salt Lake City, I'm glad you're over. Take a break, take a beating. It was a lot. You started off on a high, ended on a low. The Valley Persian Style is really good right now. Like I said, if you're not watching it, you should be watching it. Sky is the true snob. Sky is the one with the terrible bleach blonde hair. Like, girl, blonde is not for you. Your roots are too dark. When you have roots that dark, and you need to get it touched up. You over here talking about you shop at RHONY, the produce is amazing. It's high class. It's top of the top. You wouldn't have it any other way. But you can't even afford to get your roots done, girl. Your roots need some touch up. She's such a snob. And the thing is, I don't even dislike her. I don't dislike anyone on the Valley. And that's when I love reality TV the most, is when I don't dislike anyone. I dislike all them heifers on the Valley. Like, those are people I really do not care to see. I don't even think I'm going to watch the Valley when it comes out because it's just so insane to me. But Sky is a true snob. She is an elitist. She wants to get out of the Valley. And it's crazy because the oxymoron is like, you want to get out the Valley, but you're on a show called The Valley. She wants to live in Bel Air, and her husband is afraid to tell her, we cannot afford no Bel Air, especially in this economy. And the gag is that she reminds me of Toya from Married to Medicine. Like, this man is not going to stand up to her. Like, what's his name? Bashmad. He will not stand up. But when he let that whole table whip, they all got their lashings out on her, and how even Taneen's man Greg stepped in. Reza was going off on her. It was Sky against Gigi, Reza, Greg, Taneen. It was insane, okay? Like, everyone had something to say. She is very snobbish. So it starts, I think what rubbed Reza the wrong way was when she enters the rental, which you did not pay for. This is the house he selected, and you didn't pay a dime, and you're already complaining about how terrible it is. So she just walks in on an attitude. She thinks she's up here, she wears her jewelry and stuff, but it's like she's like a jewelry person and stuff and all of that, which is cool and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if I'd be wearing my friend's jewelry like that. I mean, it depends, but it depends how much she's selling it for me. In the words of Tanine, like, it's like, dang, I thought I would get a discount. She just seemed like one of those people that's like very snobbish for no reason. But I do think she's a little jealous of Tanine for sure. It just seems like she is, but it's crazy to me because we're already seeing cracks in their friendship. So she enters the family their vacation a little bit snobbish already, and then Rez is like, hey, like, how do I set the table? And then she like says something, and he's like, bitch, I was never a server. You're supposed to know how this works. Like she just is so honestly she's very snobbish. That's all I can literally say about her. So then Resident, like how she talked to him when she was saying, like, if you're gonna set the table, do it right. Like, she just came off very condescending. That's the term he used. So then we get a scene between Reza and Taneem talking, and Tanine is talking about how she just does not feel supported at all with that friendship, and she wants to see how she reacts when she does launch her skincare, because when she did, and I totally forgot about this, when she did bring over her serum, Tanine like rubbed it on her arms. It's like, obviously it's a serum for your face. She rubbed it on her arms, and then she rubbed the rest on her dogs, which I did feel like was crazy to do to your good friend that you vacation with and all this stuff. So we had that, and then we had Sky's situation with Gigi, but it seemed like they're cool now. Like, they talked about it. That was that. But but they didn't like how Sky was just presenting this whole y'all in the Valley. Like, she's better than them. She's better than the Valley. She's over it. She's ready to get a new house project in Bel Air and go back to her roots. But it's like, the thing is, girl, you guys moved to the Valley clearly for a reason. But the way, when I tell you guys, was the most bizarre thing. The way all of those people spoke their piece to this woman, and this man did not say anything about these people screaming at his wife. Oh, I'm excited for the next episode because I know she's about to go off on him. He didn't say anything. So then Reza redirects the confrontation between Tanine and Sky, basically saying, why would you rub the serum on your dogs? And Tanine was like, well, dang, why you just bring me into it? Like, he kind of threw her under the bus. He was being messy boots. And yeah, so then it ends up her and her friend kind of getting into it, having some issues, and looks like they're going to have some conflicts next, because now Sky is finding out that her friend is apparently talking crap about her, and she doesn't like that. But like I said, if you're not watching The Valley, you should definitely be watching The Valley, because this is really good. It became a huge blowout. Gigi said, I wasn't raising my voice, now I am. And when I tell you, the husband is just sitting there like this, And he's just like, he has nothing to say. Sky said she treats you like the napkin she cleans her nose from. And she said she dropped that napkin on the floor. I was like, dramatic, but I'm also here for it. Very, very good episode. Um, it is really good, and Deadline posted that article for a reason about it hitting that many ratings. It's trending. I don't see enough people talking about it on Twitter though, but it's good that it is trending. People are watching it. Maybe they're not talking about it on Twitter, but they're watching it because we got that article from Deadline. If I don't urge you to watch anything, I'm going to make that in my intro, please watch The Valley Persian Style because I just think it is so good. Moving on, I want to talk about Karen's sit down on Potomac. And I would say, like, perhaps the biggest revelations, just the biggest things I took away from her whole sit down with Andy Cohen, which has never honestly been done before. I don't even think Andy did that. Oh my gosh, I just like touched my blush and then wiped it off. I don't even think Andy sat down with Teresa like as a part of the season. Maybe a Watch Happens Live, but he actually went to Karen's home. So we get cameras picking up from Karen's pickup, you know, her release of prison. The hair, the outfit, the bandana. So, fun fact, the hair is actually from her inmates. They took hair out of their scalp. I hope it wasn't their scalp. They took it out of their scalp or maybe their hair extensions. No one has hair in there, so I'm thinking they cut their hair out of their scalp and they braided it in with Karen. And then, you know, her makeup artist ended up bringing like that outfit and the bandana. So when she leaves, because she knew it was going to be photographed, yada, yada, yada. So that's like crazy to me that they took their hair out of their scalp and braided it in with her so she didn't look crazy and they wanted a piece of her with her. Okay, so it looks like Karen is really taking on the related this to the whole Chrisleys. It's very interesting when you do something wrong and how you think you're placed into prison to be the voice for the youth. And she's like, I was just shocked with how many young women there were there. And I'm like, what are you doing there? And I'm like, no 60-year-old woman could tell me about my time in prison when you are 60 years old in prison. At least I am 21 and dumb. What do you have to say for yourself being a 60-year-old woman on your fourth DUI? We'll get into that, but that is what Karen is claiming. The girls in there were young and she felt like she had to get to them. So much so, Karen was actually in charge of the AA and the NA meetings. I did not know what NA meant. That's narcotic abuse. And then obviously AA is alcohol abuse. She was volunteering and actually a spokesperson for that. And she's like, because she has life experience, she could be. And because she went to rehab, she could talk. But my thing is, from this interview, and if I'm being completely honest, she didn't really take accountability for her alcoholism. She was more so blaming it on the prescription drugs. So much so she says she can't even mention them because she'll get sued. And I'm like, so are they giving you something illegal? Like, why would you get sued if you were to say, this is what I've been taking and mixing? Because maybe you can warn some people. So that's that. We saw Karen's son, which I don't think we've ever really seen. I think we maybe seen him like once. Karen, so let's get into like really the sit down with Andy Cohen. Karen admits that she did not see the footage of, you know, the Thomas Jefferson concubine. She did not see the footage. Even though her lawyers did tell her you should probably watch it, and that's why they were trying to cop a plea deal, she said she was still aloof to the fact because she was still under the influence during that time. She couldn't believe like this was actually happening, and she was not in her right mind to even watch it. She said she really secluded Ray from that and watching that. She did not want him to watch it. She said her daughter did. I just like am so upset. I just like ruined my blush. I'm like literally about to add it back because it's like driving me insane. Okay. I had to fix that. That's what happens when you just do quick makeup for the aesthetic and don't really do your full makeup routine. So sometimes when you touch it, like it still is moving because I haven't really completed my makeup. I'm just like, oh, I wanted to wear makeup today. And I had some stuff to film. But yeah, so she's saying like Ray did not see it because I'm like, surely your husband would have advised against you taking the plea deal. She also confirmed that the plea deal was not house arrest. She said that was never offered to her. But yeah, she said she didn't see the videos and the drunkenness until after rehab, or her therapist finally got her to like see it. She's like, girl, you need to see this. And she finally did it then. So, yeah. So Karen was not, yeah, she was not offered a plea deal with house arrest. Karen currently is not drinking. She says she is sober. She's been sober since before she went in. Which is like, I'm assuming after rehab. And then, yeah, Karen, which I thought was interesting, she said her kids did bring this up 20 years ago. So her first incident happened at 21, I believe, or 20. And she did get sexually assaulted at 19. So she says around that time is when kind of she stopped emotionally developing because she kind of shut it off because of that traumatic experience. That's what she is associating her first DUI with. So she said this did happen the first time 20 years ago. Which is when her in her 20s or something. And she said this was also brought up a couple years ago when her kids did sit her down like, hey, do you have a problem? And Raven, her kid, she did think she had a problem. And then she said at that point she went to the doctor, and I'm like, of course a doctor's not going to tell you have a drinking problem. A doctor isn't there to tell you have a drinking problem. A doctor is there to prescribe you something that thinks you have a drinking problem. Let's just put it out there, okay? I know a couple of people that have drinking issues that go to doctors to seek help. Your doctor is not going to tell you if you have a drinking problem because you're 99% not going to be honest with that doctor about how much you drink, right? So the doctor's like, no, you're fine. If you're telling me you drink once a week, and like this has happened, no, just take this drug. You're not going to be honest with your doctor. You're not going to be honest with your doctor unless someone's sitting there with you. Unless you having vivid reactions of your intoxication right then and there. I mean, you're going to be on your best behavior in front of a doctor. And that's why I'm just like, okay, Karen. So the doctor prescribes her some prescription drugs, which is something she had got used to taking. And she has started then upping her dose after her parents had passed away. Herself. She was just upping her dosage. We do not know the name of these prescription drugs that the doctor prescribed her. I don't know any doctor. You're going in saying they're saying I have a drinking problem. They're like, you don't take this, you'll be fine. I don't know what kind of doctor that is, but I guess that's why she don't want to say what kind of drugs they were. And so I don't know. Karen, she just at this point in the interview, she just didn't seem to be super honest because Karen says there was no 4 DUIs. She's very Meredith Marks now with it. She's trying to get very touchy with her words. Very trivial. She said all 4 incidents involve alcohol, but only 2 of them were DUIs. So I'm assuming 2 of them were DUIs, driving under the influence. The other 2 were driving while intoxicated. So one of them is you have alcohol in the car, and the other one is you are driving when you are clearly drunk. So yeah, because you can get a DUI. DUI is under the influence, right? And then while intoxicated. Yeah, under the influence is like, oh, you cannot be under the influence. You can vividly not be under the influence, but you have liquor in your car. So it's like you're driving under the influence. Well, versus driving while intoxicated is like you're swerving and stuff like that. That's why we pull you over. Like you can get pulled over and they see you have like, I don't listen to me. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I'm pretty sure one of them means you have the alcohol in the car. You have it on you. The other one means you were already past that point. You're lit. You were clearly lit for enough to get pulled over. Okay. So that's the difference. Karen says that she was also able to get her time down. And this is something I would have asked Ebony Williams because I'll never forget, she said people just don't get their time magically down. But Karen is saying live from prison, out of prison. She is saying the only reason her time got shaved down is because she was volunteering. And she also said everyone has the opportunity to get their time reduced from volunteering and, just being on best behavior, but also from like volunteering. So that's how she got her time reduced, because we weren't expecting her out until like December. She got out in September. She got out 2 months earlier. So we get picked up on a little stuff from Wendy, which I don't really want to focus on, but Andy does talk about like the last reunion and like why she didn't thank Wendy, and she said Wendy understands why. We don't understand why, because last we had known you were the one talking about Wendy, and Wendy was the one shocked to find that out. And that's why I'm like, it still seemed like Karen is living in La La Land. I'm like, it made no sense to me why out of everyone there you did not thank Wendy. Like, are you upset because Stacey told on you and Wendy actually listened? Like, I don't understand what the issue is when it comes to that. That is what's really throwing me off, if I'm being completely honest. What else happened? Karen claimed, yeah, so I said that. And then, so Andy did ask her, like, are you an alcoholic? And she said, I am in lifetime recovery. She's never said she's an alcoholic, though she does say she does have alcoholism disease and prescription drug disease. But that's honestly what I took from it. I think she had a little bit of accountability. I think she recognized a little bit of her fault. I don't think she realized not near all of it, though. It still seemed like she's teetering the line of like, well, I was put in this position because I needed to get to these younger women that are also in these positions, and I need to talk to them and school them and educate them. But also, she was blaming it on the prescription drugs. She says she thinks she has more of an issue with prescription drugs than she does with alcohol, which tells me I don't think she plans on being sober. But I mean, hey, if you don't want to be sober, just don't get behind the wheel again, right? Uh, I mean, some people's diseases outweigh their desire to get better. And hey, I'm not gonna tell her how to live. If we see Karen drinking, as long as she is not driving. But that was really everything that was discussed. Definitely give it a watch. They really stretched it. It could have been a 30-minute segment, if I'm being honest. Maybe an extended 30 minutes. It didn't need to be 42. But yeah, we will be talking about the first part of the reunion next Toxic Tuesday, because I cannot wait to watch that. We're going to talk about the premiere of Summer House next Tuesday. Know what the reality episode this week. I know I like to rotate them, but like I said in a previous episode, I'm trying to line it up better for it to come out, because my next topic will definitely be America's Next Top Model. And I really want to line that up when the America's Next Top Model documentary is coming out, which I do think is the 16th. So you can expect it around then, at least that weekend or the weekend before. For sure. It just depends how the weeks fall, but my next one will definitely be that one. So it's coming up for sure, especially as we are already in February. And happy Black History Month to everyone. I will see you guys next Toxic Tuesday. Stay safe out there. It's getting colder and colder, and we'll chat soon. Bye.